off. I'm not there.
What you're saying that actually there's some guys who are actually starting to do it. Like my dad, he was like, yeah, when your brothers and sisters are like your age, we're gonna bring them down here, and I'm gonna bring my wife down here. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, because a lot of people don't want to go.
If they want to think about that, don't that make sense?
I didn't hear properly. The line was kind of weird.
Yes. Don't you think it's better to keep, if you marry a Nigerian girl, keep her out of the US?
Yes.
For your own sake.
Yes.
Why would you get married to somebody and not be able to live where you live with that person? Why are you getting married to somebody if that's the way you feel? It means you don't trust the person.
Being cautious.
Why trust come up? All the divorces happened. Did they not trust each other?
Well, Daddy Freeze, you can never tell whether you divorce or not. The point is, we're talking about when you are in the marriage. Why would you be in a marriage with somebody you cannot live anywhere in the world with?
I think we're using the word trust very lightly here.
Daddy Freeze, I was on somebody else's live one time, and one lady said that she will not bring a Nigerian man. She's Nigerian. She said she will not marry a man from Nigeria and bring him to America. She's an American citizen. And everybody lashed her. Everybody insulted her. But now he's saying practically the same thing, and everybody is praising it.
It's the worst. Like, to be honest, I've seen things happen. My cousin, right? My cousin wanted to marry somebody from Nigeria 2 years ago. Hell broke loose. And my cousin, like, when he called me, he was like, Toya, you sure you want to marry from here? I said, what happened? He said, your mom and the person's mother got angry. They were throwing stuff and everything because I guess that my cousin found out what she was trying to do, and she was almost close to getting a passport and all that stuff. So it's a lot of drama. It's a lot of drama. Like
your mom, you said your mom is Nigerian.
Yeah.
Was her marriage successful with your father?
Nope. The only reason my parents stayed together is because of me and my sisters. But after they've been married 30 years. My dad divorced my mom like 10 years ago, secretly divorced my mom 10 years ago. But we already knew what was going on. So he just stayed with us because he wanted us to really, I guess, I forgot what he wanted to do, but he wanted to stay with us just so we can be okay, so we won't cry and things like that. But
I'm going to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer this question because it's maybe slightly sensitive, but do you think your mother was a good wife?
Having trauma, she was a good mother, but a wife, no.
Okay.
Good mother.
Honest.
She was a good mother to her kids, but a wife, no, because at the end of the day, I still have trauma as a kid till now. I still have trauma. I'm traumatized from me being a little kid, me seeing arguments, my parents putting me as a yo-yo, my mom speaking negatively about my dad speaking. So I'm the firstborn. So when you marry and you put your kid, it starts to dramatize them as they get older. And that's what has happened to me. So therefore, I don't really trust a lot of people. I don't really get close to people. So from an African household, African parents, especially the women, especially if you're Yoruba, some of the parents feel like they have friends, especially the women. They'll go gossip to their friends about what goes on in their own damn household. They about what goes on in their own damn household, thinking that they have friends. Those so-called friends that you think you have, they go tell their friends about what goes on in your house. So when your kids come around, your kids start to feel some type of energy and like, why is this auntie looking at me? Why is this going on? This, like my mom, she's always been the type of person where anything that happens in the house, she'll talk on the phone. And I'm like, do you not know you're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing us? So anybody that comes, they already know what goes on in the house. And the so-called friends that our mothers think they have, they're the ones who ruin the relationship. They ruin the marriage. And at the end of the day, I've always hated that, because it's like, why do you have to gossip about what goes on in the house? Why do you have to go gossip about what goes on with your kids? Because at the end of the day, your kids is a reflection of you as a parent and a mother. So at the end of the day, when you're talking about your kid, you're actually talking about yourself. And at the end of the day, like I tell people, too many friends equals too many voices. And what that means is you're letting outsiders know what goes on in the house, and you're wondering, failing. That's because you talk too much as a mother. You feel like you have friends when you don't. If there's a problem, go talk to a therapist. You have to be willing to listen to your husband. Don't feel like my mother, she's dominant. That's the reason why my dad ended the whole thing. Men don't like my dad, he doesn't like a woman to tell him what to do. He's the leader who needs to lead. There are men who actually want to be submissive. There are men who actually want peace. If you're a woman and you give your husband peace, he's gonna look for it somewhere else.
Word. I think it has on its own tomorrow. So more people, if you're interested in contributing. The topic is why you shouldn't bring a woman from Nigeria to the USA or to Canada.
Can I?
So thank you.
Okay.
You want to say something?
Yes, I was just going to ask you, and this is your own judgment. Now, do you think that your mom's behavior was as a result of her being a woman or as a result of her being a Nigerian woman?
Nigerian woman. Her thinking and my dad's thinking is two different things. Even with me, my mom still has that Nigerian mentality, and my dad keeps telling her, your son was born in America. You cannot, the way she thinks and the way she talks, like, okay, when I was living with her, right? My dad is the type of free. My mom, if you live under my roof, you have to do what I say. You have to go to be a nurse. But you go and be a doctor. I want you to be a doctor. I don't want this. And you want to know why she wants me to do that? Because she wants me to be that. Even though that's not what I want to be, she wants me to do that so she can brag to her friends.
She can brag. Yep. That one, I see. That's true.
I hate that. I'm like, so basically you want me to be what you want to be, and after I do what you say, I'm still not going to be happy, but you want to brag to your friends that I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, and da-da-da-da. And then, okay.
Yeah.
I've gone to school for you. I've done what you asked me to do. So now can I do it? Now can I do what I want to do? Oh, you're free. You're out of my house. You can do what you want to do. So hold on. I went to school for you, not for me. So at the end of the day, right, I'm going to be honest. My mom somehow has killed my joy. So now that I live by myself, I'm trying to find myself, because she wanted me to be what she wanted me to be. What she wanted her to be. Yeah. She wanted me to be.
Yeah. Like, how old are you, if you don't mind telling?
Now I'm 34.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever been married?
Nope. I have to get over. I'm trying to. I go to therapy for stuff that I've gone through as a kid. So when that's done, I'll be fine.
Do you think when you get married and you probably experience certain things, do you think you'll probably be more understanding of your parents and their own challenges too?
No, because I'll know how to handle myself. The way my mom thinks, the African culture thing, that's not going to be me. I'm going to be understanding. Basically, me, I'm going to let my child be free. This is the thing. When I was growing up, my mom made me scared of her. And I'm not going to have kids that's going to be scared of me. I'm going to let them make sure they're comfortable talking to me. They can always run to me for anything. They can always talk to me. I will always be there. Because one thing about me, I get love from my dad more than my mother. My mother shows me love by materialistic things. I've actually hugged my mom like 5 times. She pushed me away from her. And my thinking, that feels like rejection, but she does things for me materialistically. The thing about it,
poor kids only want a hug and got some money. Typical Nigerian story. Now, I want to talk about something. Did you guys see that video? Can you mute? The two of you mute.
Okay.
Did you see that video? Just nod your heads. Of that mother that was telling her child that she saw the child doing some sort of spirituality, and the mother was saying, in Jesus' name, this, you will not do this. And then the child was like, I'm grown up. Whatever I practice is not your business. No, you will worship Jesus. Jesus is the way. You will worship Jesus. This your spirituality is occultism, is this, is that. If you ask me, the biggest occultism.
I've had that happen to me too. My mom's taking me, there's no African church I've never been to. And I'm like, because of her, I don't really go to church like that anymore, because there's no church I've not been to that's African. I've been to, as a kid, I used to go to Saleh. I've been to Mount Redeem. I've been to, I guess, called Temple of Praise. I've been to Jesus House. I've been to, there's so many churches. So many.
Somebody said this guy had a bad mother. No, he had a typical Nigerian mother.
Yep. And the truth is, most of us have that same type of mother, but we all just pretend, oh, our mother is the best. But most of us actually grew up just like this. So why are we now acting like, yeah?
What he just described here, that is my father. He just described my father. The only problem is, say, him gentle, me, I no gentle. When my papa carrying craze come, he dey meet my craze for house. So two jam.
No, I'm
actually 20. I'm actually give me or I be.
I'm actually my mother almost put a restraining order on me. I'm actually, because the thing about it is what she was doing wasn't making sense. What she was doing wasn't making any sense. And my dad kept telling her, your son is not, he wasn't born in Nigeria. Like, your thinking is poor. So at the end of the day, my mom is the type of person, she doesn't want to listen to anybody. She thinks she's always right because she's dominant. She's a dominant woman. So it's like, she feels like she's right. She feels like nobody can't tell her anything. Even her own son. I feel I can't even talk to her about nothing, because if I talk to her, she starts to yell, she starts to scream and things like that. Imagine you having a child, imagine you having a kid, and you block your mom, and you haven't talked to her for two years, and all you do is talk to your dad because you want peace within yourself.
Now hold on. Somebody asked, he said, can any of your kids tell you it's not your business the moment they start earning their own money?
Yeah, if they earn their own money, that's their own money.
Then they can tell me freely that it's not my business.
Let me tell you something, right? The day when I was
taking care of then your business.
The day I took,
but the moment you are old enough to take financial decisions by yourself, because that girl was telling the mother, I'm an adult. And an adult in America is not the same as an adult in Nigeria. And paying bills. There's no adult in America that does not pay their own bills. Even if they are staying in your house, they'll be contributing.
Somebody contributes, yeah. And they tell you, you can get a.
That girl said, that was me 20 years.
Yeah.
Somebody said you should tell us what was good about your mother. I think that's a good question.
My mom is.
She loved him. I did not understand his love. Let me even speak it on his behalf. His mom was a great mom. She loved him. She just was a typical Nigerian mother. Every one of my friends, 90% of my friends, has this type of mother.
And it's so confusing. It's depressing. It's like, I can't even.
So the problem is he was raised by a mother outside of Nigeria. Because if he was going home and all his were having this same type of treatment, he would not see it as an issue. But because his friends did not have this kind of mother, he saw his mother as an issue. But his mother was a typical Nigerian woman. Our parents were raised to be traumatized and to traumatize us.
And that's crazy, because at the end of the day, when I have friends, they're like, what's going on with you? what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? This and that. I don't see it, but they see it. So I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong? It's like, you're getting mad for nothing. I didn't do anything to you. I'm like, oh, really? So when I have friends, they tell me they look at my mother and then they look at me and they're like, you're picking up your mother's traits, because I've lived in my mother's house. So certain things I picked from her, I'm trying to erase it because that's not me. And the thing about it, I've asked my dad, I told my dad, I'm like, when you guys were born, right? Why is it that you guys pick up stuff from your parents, and then when you have kids, you have to transition it to me? And
now, say
that again.
You need to understand something. There's something called the feral child.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book called The Feral Child. There was a study done on, you know what feral children are? Children raised by animals in the bush. If a child does not speak by the time they're 3, they are never going to be able to speak again. They have been imprinted. So much of what your parents are transferring to you is unconscious and conscious. Their grandmother was like that. Their mother was like that. They're like that. Their neighbors were like that. They find themselves in America. And they act normal, just like their moms were, just like their aunts are, just like their friends' mothers are. They're acting normal. The only problem is they are not in a place where that kind of behavior is normal. And if your mom raised in Nigeria, you would be perfectly fine, because you see that all your moms do exactly the same thing your mom did.
That's abnormal.
My father used to talk to people about me.
My mom, that starts fights. Yeah, that starts fights with, yeah. My mom did the same. That starts fights. Yeah.
Until I started, I realized that if I don't embarrass this guy in front of his friends, he will continue dragging me in front of them. So when I saw that it was not getting him out, he now left me. I don't hate my dad for it. But you see, the Nigerian system is toxic. It creates toxic people. It's really toxic.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, some of us will carry this and transfer to our children. Tasteboard used to look at me and says, you know, you are exactly like your dad. So we get up and then we transfer it. Now, some people are lucky enough to break the cycle. But whether you like it or not, let me tell you things my dad used to do to me when I was a kid. Because I wouldn't do medicine, I was working on the ring. He didn't understand what I was doing. And the story of my life, nobody has ever understood what I've ever done in my life, but I've managed to succeed at it. My dad would wake up in the morning in my room and wake me up to go, because he was Muslim, and wake me up in the morning and say, let's go and pray. I'm not in the mood to pray. Why do you have to wake me up every single morning? It's not like it's once a week. Why do you have to wake up every day to pray? I want to sleep. And my dad would now stand at my door and run me down. My dad used to say all sorts of things to me. My mom, I can repeat. Sometimes when I say, Mom, I can do it, mom say, never say that and do it. My mom was always the positive force. My dad was like almost waiting for me to fail so that he can say, I want him.
That's crazy.
So, but you see, I'm not angry with him. I just realized he is a product of a bad system. A system that creates traumatized people who go on to create more traumatized people. In Nigeria, you will go and cry to your mom that your pastor touched you, and your mom is going to tell you, what did you wear to his office?
What?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
People will go and cry to them, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me.
What
were you wearing?
Brainwashed. Like, that's...
So we need to understand that we have a very bad system here, and it's creating really bad people. And our parents are not necessarily bad. They're just products of a bad. Because I don't see how... In Nigeria, we are used to comparing suffer. I suffered more than you. Not ego trip. So anyway, guys, that's as far as we can go today. We're going to come back and do proper justice. Thank you so much, my bro. He enjoyed your.
You're welcome.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Do take care and stay blessed. And to my beautiful sister Ibiri.
Hi.